I don't want to bore you guys with slides, but let me know if you guys can see my screen. Is it legible or not?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes, we see it.
Is it legible?
Yes, yeah, it's quite legible. Yeah.
Good. So thank you again. I'm pretty sure EliteFat has done a great job in giving you who we are and what we do. But I thought it would be good for us to see a few of the items in actions. We are in the enterprise cloud automation business. That is our core bread and butter or competency, where we create automation tools and orchestration tools to consolidate all of your compute power into a seamless solution where you can manage them under one umbrella. So that is where we start. Just a high-level agenda, so you can ignore this. So as far as WIPC is concerned, WIPC is a feature-rich, powerful, resilient cloud computing platform designed with full automation and orchestration. The solution is designed for taking care of today's compute demands with key focus on modern design, security, flexibility, scalability, recoverability, and manageability. What it means in short is that if you have multiple different data centers today that you're managing in multiple different capacities, where you have multiple different tools deployed in managing that environment, either virtual or non-virtual, we offer you a consolidated platform where you can install our tools and manage all of those data center in a seamless pane of glass from one console. Of course, we recommend a few of the hardware tools that we use to consolidate, but if you have any specific needs, we can also look at what you have already and how it can be consolidated. Our automation engine is the key where it sets us apart from traditional virtualized infrastructure. So it includes all the modern provisioning tools, on-demand resources, etc. We'll see all of this in action. Then on top of that, we paired this with orchestration to create the ability of the service layer that's fully integrated in all of the modern tools, which basically means is that if you want to scale out, you want to connect external resources through APIs and containerize, all of that options is available today, giving you the modern tools to manage your data centers, basically bringing the cloud into the private world. You get the benefit of the cloud, but in your own hand, in your own control. As far as our footprint is concerned, primary location is US. We are building our solutions, and support is distributed across the region because that's how our clients are. We follow the Sun model as far as support is concerned. As far as employee count, we are about 50, lean and mean. The industry that we cater to, these are not limited to, but these are some of the clients that we have in telecom, education, medical, finance, government. We do have few in the defense, not active yet, but we're working with them in few solutions. Customer size, 25 plus, mid-size to enterprise level. Ownership, as far as the ownership is concerned, this is very critical. We are 100% in control of all of our hardware and software layer, which means that we buy from the known vendors, all of the hardware, and then we put our tools on top of it and make it such that you are 100% in control. Our direct competitors, DigitalOcean, even though Azure and AWS we do not compete with, however, on solutions and tools, we do compete with them in terms of what we offer. As far as our operating model is concerned, we cater towards plan, govern, build, and run. In the planning stage, this is where our strategy and architectural team is busy creating the solution. In business partnering, this is where we reach out to value-added resources, in this case, a lead fat, for instance, sales, marketing, procurement, and all the partnership that we strike. Governance, risk, and compliance basically caters towards security and compliance, depending upon which region that is. The build section is where the bread and butter is, where we have our R&D development, infrastructure services, data and BI services, and digital workspace. The run is where the service delivery occurs, service management, service desk, NOC, and SOX of the world. Feel free to stop and ask any questions. If I'm going too fast, more than happy to pause.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. Can you go to the back, please, to the last slide? In the delivery, is this something like you hand it over to the customer's service desk or service management team, or this is something by Vipsy?
So we have a slide on the services. We offer multiple different service models. We can train the trainer, which the level 1 support will be handled by the client themselves, where we train them. This way they can triage any of the issues and challenges. Then we can take over the level 2 if the client does not have capability for level 2. Definitely level 3 is in our hands. So that's the model which works, where they know their users, so they can take level 1. We can train them on our tools. Once they did triage, and then accordingly they can escalate to level 2 or level 3. So we can do level 1 all the way to level 3, or combination of any of that.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As far as our principles and values are concerned, of course, without saying, we're passionate about what we do. Integrity, accountability, and innovation. This is what we strive to build our model and solution against it. Customer value, partnership, cost effective, you would see as you compare with other. Culture integrity, given that we are in different regions, so we understand the dynamics of different cultures and different regions, and the quality of the service itself. As far as the building blocks or the architectural building blocks of the solution is, I'll start from bottom up. You have a networking layer, which you partner with in the region with all the telecoms of the world, the compute and the storage. We have a networking component built into our solution that manages the core network connectivity sitting on top of the ISP. Of course, the compute power and the storage. On top of that, hypervisor sits. Our recommendation is the KVM or OpenStack. That's what we use. Then the Vipsy proprietary orchestration software, the controller, which controls all of that. Security layer is built on top of that as well within the solution, as well as for you to turn additional solutions on. We'll see that in demo. Then the API engine, where you can do connectivity with third party across. AI engine, which is built, the automation in scaling out, scaling up, monitoring and expansions and audit logs and all of those stuffs are built into that. Even support automation is built into it, in terms of somebody opening a ticket. If it's something FAQ that we have in our FAQ, we can intelligently pick from the ticketing system and forward them an email or reply via email showing them the FAQ that they can answer. If not, they can escalate the ticket, for example. We have a billing module built into it, where if you're offering this as a turnkey solution, you're charging or a chargeback model within the departments that you have, or you want to see how cost allocation is for budgeting purposes. Full-blown billing options available in there as well. Full-blown DNS management system is built into it, of course. For each region, DNS is specific, but if you're leveraging our distributed footprint in DNS. We do offer that as well, or we can build one for you, or you can use your third party for that matter. Support module is built into it as well, so you don't have to go outside to the market and bring in ITSM tools or any of the support tools. We do have ticketing system built into it right from the module that the user or the customer that's using, they can create tickets within, and the technician can also log in and manage those tickets as well. On top of that, the admin portal and the user portal. Admin portal is where the administrator will manage all of the containers, the nodes, look at how they're performing, what's the utilization, and etc. And the user is where the consumer will come in and use that portal in creating those environments. Any questions so far?
So this is, if Cubic want to build their cloud service to the customers in Libya, this is what you are explaining here, right?
Yeah, so there are two ways of doing it. So the ideal way is to run a proof of concept. We can give you a hardware list that is compatible with our automation. You probably might have them. If not, you can procure them. We build a stack for you, we train you, we hand it over to you, and you let it loop and you judge yourself. We're not going to force you or tell you what to do. You tell us how it scales in your environment. Okay, that's one model. On that, we'll sit, we can do a discovery call to see what hardware you have, what's compatible and what's not compatible. Or you can create what's called a parallel model. Parallel model in your data centers. We're not here to rip and replace. That's not our model. We can augment that. Let's say you want to create a AR side, for instance. In cloud, you might be thinking. Or you want to go to the cloud, but you're concerned about in the general cloud or the public cloud, so to speak, or send, public cloud. And take BIPC solution in any of your data center and build that cloud in your private and use that towards maybe backing data of your critical servers and using in that way, or perhaps for your R&D, or perhaps for your so many other solutions. So I don't know what your need is, so I'm giving you a general answer. That doesn't mean that we cannot do it. It requires a little bit more of discovery and sitting and what your needs are and how it might fulfill.
Yeah, actually, it's amazing what you mentioned right now is that you are highly flexible.
Yes.
And if whatever the situation that we have, you
exactly, and that
BIPC can adapt to it and provide a solution.
And that's what makes us different from traditional solution where they come in and they say sign here and okay, now you replace the whole infrastructure, millions of dollars that you have invested. We don't want to do that.
So you have no issues to fit from squeezy place to one. Yeah.
So we don't do that. We just give you a solution which works. Of course, there are some standard hardwares. Don't get me wrong. It's not plug and play, but it's quite flexible to say the least. Most of our clients, after they see, we give them a demo. We then give them a demo logins and they go and play with our environment and then make a decision and then sign up for a POC. In POC, then they scale it up towards probably R&D, development, make their own decision how they want to scale up accordingly.
Okay. Are we going to go in details like in the block of security or billing or the admin?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll set my questions for later.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Some of the AI automations or an engine is that based on demand, we can then suggest shared CPU model or memory optimized model or compute optimized model or GPU enabled optimized models. These are all compute resources based on the demand. The service then can recommend that, hey, you can use the shared CPU model, not overtaxing your CPUs. We'll see all of this in action. As far as our footprint now, as we speak, currently, we are in Europe, Canada, East Coast and West Coast in the US and in Africa. All tier 3 data centers footprint, of course, with all the security, improved network, from the redundancy perspective. This is what our public cloud offering is today. This is not your footprint. You can build your own footprint in a WIPC private white label model, so to speak. So, as you can go with the public option we have today now as is. If not, you can do a hybrid. As I mentioned, you can build a solution next to your own solution and slowly scale up, or go total private on-prem, 100% in your control. So system management is built into it. Highly available in terms of redundancy. That's how the model is. Try to eliminate single point of failure. We'll see all this in action. We have different operating systems we also as well to create. Offers you to do command line, not GUI, offers the command line management as well. User account management, registration, different payment methods, controlling that, the enabling system, all of these are available. We'll see that in action as well. As far as support is concerned, we follow the ITIL model. Simple service design, service transition. I don't want to go into detail to bore you, but as I mentioned before, we follow the Sun model, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Wherever the client is, they can pick level 1, level 2, and we pick level 3, or we pick from level 2 and level 3 onwards. Average incident response is 15 minutes. This is our team, of course. Your team can probably better than that, I'm pretty sure. Within 15 minutes, but this is what our public offering is now. The platform is used for different services, hosting and DNS. If you are an ISP, big data analytics, you can put analytics services on our WIPC model, and it shines. Sandboxing, R&D. You want to build a private end-to-end encrypted 100% in your control web conferencing. We do have a solution for that. Educational LMS system. Business communication suite. If you're tired of the public email domains that you're using now, you want to build your own communication suite, which is 100% controlled. We have solution for business communication suite as well. Disaster recovery and backup as a service. If you want to use that, CRM, we have seen it. Firewall as a service. Managed SOC if you're in business of managed security service provider. All right, let's see some stuff in action. Questions so far?
Okay.
Let me know if you see my screen, please.
Yeah, we see your screen.
Yeah. All right, this is our public website. All that I mentioned is summarized in, today you can come in and sign up for our services. But this is not what I'm here to show you guys. You click on login if you're a paid customer, or if you have a demo account, you can sign up for demo account. Once you log in, this is the admin user interface. Sorry, end user. By admin, I mean we have an admin user interface for administrator, which does beyond this, which kind of makes this shells for them. And then we have a semi-admin where you can go and manage your resources and stuff like that. So this is semi-admin. So I'll go through the menu items here on the left-hand side. This is where you categorized all of your projects that you're creating. Perhaps you're doing a demo or a test or R&D, then you can create projects and then assign resources to those projects so that it's categorized properly. On the left is the favorite links where you can, if you are a backup guy and you're managing only backup solutions, you can limit the access to the person logging in and they can only see recovery services. And you can create a favorite link so that you can go directly into it if you're a DNS for that purpose. Just click on this. You can add any of the services up here and they'll show accordingly. So ease of use. On the top right, I'll start with going left to right. This is where the account management is. This is your profile when you sign up. What's involved in your profile, basic user information that we capture, any specific profile requests you might have, validation of your phone for MFA, billing details if you're charging them, any documents that you might want them to upload for security reason. If you want to validate, this is how you will upload the secure documents, billing alerts that if your amount goes beyond, if you want to sign up for subscription. This is where you can come in and delete resources or deactivate your account accordingly. Moving on to the security, this is again at the account level. You set up your MFA. In here, we support most of the MFAs. Password changes, bucket keys that you create for your environment will be stored here. SSH keys that you create for the environment will be stored here. Any certificates that you manage, if you're using this for hosting services, will be kept here. Any of the audit logs in terms of who logged them, from which IP, which region, etc., and what ISP and the carriers that you have will be logged here. The automation setup, if you enable API keys to create or enable, you will do it here. If you want to upload the scripts, we give you the ability, once you create a platform, if you want to run scripts post-deployment to do XYZ, for example, you fire up your Windows server, and then after you fire up, within 10 minutes, install IIS. So you can build your script and upload it, and we'll do it for you. If you have a custom ISO image that you use internally for training, for R&D that you have built, you can upload it here and you can create resources out of that ISO. Backups, daily backups, backups that you have now that you need to protect will be stored here. Auto-scaling resources, you can apply policies in term here with CPU taxed at 80% for 4 hours, increase the CPU automatically, for example. So you can create all of those here. Account permissions, this is where you can create.
Can we mix, can we mix between like monitoring and automation?
Yeah, you can have just monitoring.
If a threshold is reached, we reach a certain threshold, we trigger a certain automation or certain script.
Yes, you can, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Roles and permissions, this is where you create additional users within your team and assign them all sorts of permissions to limit their access to the resources. Okay. FAQ, we have built a lot of FAQs. You can build your own custom FAQs here.
Sorry, for the permission part, is there levels like view, edit, add, delete?
Yes.
In each one? In
each one of them, yeah. So in each one, this is the user profile that you can create, invite them. In each level, when you create a role, for instance, this will be
demo role.
So edit only, for instance. You create the edit only and then come here and start the permissions accordingly to enable or disable it. And this edit only, when you create a user, you can assign that edit only to that user.
I didn't see the part where you select whether edit or TV. I just saw enable, disable. This is it. Whether it is.
Yeah, so these are the ones you enable. So if you enable, then you have control to edit, or disable, you don't.
So this means by default, if I disable everything.
Here.
Read, create, read all. Okay, this is what I am asking about. Yeah.
So you can go granular if you like, or you can go the whole shot.
Okay. Nicely done. Okay.
All right, so FAQ, we already won. Activity, for you want to manage the activity in terms of, you can filter this activity by each resources that you might have in terms of who logged in and what they did, okay? So it kind of captures pretty much all the activities that's available. Support, as I mentioned, support is built into it. You can come into here and open up a ticket, all right? You can call the ticket whatever. It could be a general or related to a specific. You can assign this category. It could be a tech, complaint, feedback, billing issue, general question. These are all customizable, what you want to do.
Nice. Okay.
And priorities also customize the way you want it. Low, medium, high. We can also charge people if it's urgent, if you have that model, for instance.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, so, to lower the abuse, some people just do it urgent anyway, even though it's not. To limit that, we have seen that when we apply this model, we see.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's not urgent, they just want to make it urgent.
Yeah, as long as they pay for it, no problem.
And there are automation built into it. If it's urgent, all of our technicians' cell phones and beepers or all of their stuff will ring if that's the case.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you can attach the case accordingly. You can close the case. You can reopen the case, and et cetera, et cetera. Any questions so far?
Okay. No, I have a question related to billing, so I'll wait.
All right. So let's do billing. Here we are.
DNS. Okay. We do billing and we check quickly DNS. DNS, I think it is the obvious DNS.
Yeah, the DNS is obvious. DNS could be a very touchy subject based on the different regions you are. But we offer you we have our name servers that are registered across the world. Within 10 minutes, your DNS services will be replicated. Of course, we can't just go in and build that for a private one because you might already have, so you can leverage your own if you want, but it's fully available. We can build that node school.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. In order to do name servers, this is completely another.
This will take probably close to about a year because before Google trusts you and the whole world knows where you are, so
yeah.
So in the admin tool, the main admin tool, this is where you set up the account and then you fund the account. The account could be funded in two ways. It could be prepaid or postpaid.
Yeah.
So in prepaid, then you assign that particular account a credit for the month, and they will then consume services based on that credit, and you charge them on a monthly basis. In postpaid, you will come in and bring your credit card and buy the credit and then consume it, okay? Major credit cards, PayPal, vouchers, if you have your own bank, ASHAs, and all that stuff, we can build that for you as well within this.
Okay.
So after you put your credit card in here and it gets validated, and this is your transactions in how much amount that you had and which amount went to which resources and your invoicing. The invoices, you can download it accordingly, view it, and it will tell you, break all the invoicing for you. You see my screen for invoicing?
Yes, I can see.
So that's how the invoicing will be then billed according to each specific resources and consumption, making the total of the bill that you have for the month, for instance. Of course, this customizable.
This is like the total resources of all workloads, or it would be separate?
You can do a aggregated, separate, however you want to like it. Yeah.
I mean, is this like something you set up, configure it at on the platform, or the subscription or tenant level, or I can like per project, or
both. So if you are in multi-tenant and there's a chargeback at a mothership level on top, you will see all the roll-up of all the tenants under you and their billing. If you are a tenant, you can see your own billing and consumption under you. Yeah.
We assume that there is one customer who has like 2 projects.
Yes, you can see
one project. He wants the one project to be the invoice needed to be detailed in each workload, and the other one it is I mean, let's say he asked it to be aggregated.
Yes, both we can give you.
So in each project we can select like whether we want it this way or that way.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, you can fund your account however you want it in terms of funding. So if I show you, let me show you the workflow of.
You know, sometimes you get weird requests. So as long as you can provide, or as much details as you can provide, this will give us more strength in the.
Well, let me show you the high level workflow of the billing, so that might answer a lot of your questions, and we can share this information with you. Give me 1 second. I'm opening up the document.
Okay, take your time. Network. We still see recovery firewall, and let me write it. Right, we need to see network as well. Network. Nizar, can you keep? Are you keeping up with us, or you have issue with the connectivity? It seems that Nizar has an issue with connectivity.
Was somebody dropped out?
No, he is connected and muted, but
maybe he's bored.
Nizar bin Hamid.
We can share this information with you. I'm sorry if this is small, you know.
I can zoom. Okay. Oh, yeah, nice diagram.
Yeah, so this gives you all the way from activation to fraud detection and prevention that we have built into it. When it comes to billing and people using credit card and banking, so there's a lot of fraud happening. So we have that mechanism built into it. But of course, we have invested that with third party in the US as a service. So if you're deploying this within your region, and if these services are available within your region, great. If not, if you want to use these services that are not available, you can connect your on-prem environment and open specific ports to do this kind of validation for you. Okay.
Okay.
So once the registration happens, the account is funded and the consumption starts. But prior to that, if it's credit card, you know, PayPal or voucher, you can add more payment methods if you want. All of them after consumption if everything is good, it just goes into, the balance, until the balance depletes in 15 days or 10 days. All of these automation kicks in all the way till you have 0 days left and your account is suspended.
Okay.
And if your credit card fails, this is where the failing mechanism happens. It tries first attempt, second attempt. If it doesn't, then accordingly it does all the routing and intelligence and sends you notification. First notification that your account is low, second notification, then suspension notice, then suspended, and it's waiting for the admin to terminate if you want it or reactivate it accordingly.
Okay.
So a lot of intelligence is built into it rather than just billing printout and how you see your funds. That's least of our worries. We have all the information we capture, so we can design any bill that you want. But this is the core bread and butter of it, how it detects fraud and how it sends notifications to customers or users if their fund is depleting or getting close to depleted, where it locks your account. It gives you a grace period to use your resources, but you cannot modify your resource. You can just use it, and it's in the lock state until you fund an account. If not, it goes into suspend, where you cannot even use your resources.
Nice. And this is in the case, okay, as illustrated here.
This is our out of the box, but of course, if there are specific needs a little customization here and there, this will be on the requirement process that we then pick up and create accordingly.
Okay.
Here, let me also show you how the security layer is built. Okay. So let's start from the left to the right. Primary data center which consists of the computers, the storage, the Cisco switches, the firewalls, and management tools. You have your secondary site on the right and connectivity in the middle, redundant connectivity which backs up the site accordingly. Your business user comes into the internet to secure channel and consume services, and it backs up on the right-hand side accordingly. On the top left, on the WIPC services, this is where our cloud DNS, if you want to use. WIPC repositories, this is where we then push out updates that it's containerized, that you can use those updates and test it out and then deploy them accordingly. This is where connection will occur to our controllers. This is a typical model that usually customers deploy or we recommend. If there is specific need in how you guys deploy, of course, we can sit and discuss that.
Okay.
Here are the requirements if you want to use the services.
Okay. So these services doesn't come with the solution. I mean, or are charged separately, right?
SMTP services in terms of communicating or sending emails. If you have your own, that's good. If not, we can give you that as well. APIs, Google CAPTCHAs for bots and scripts. We have service that we signed up. If you don't, then you can sign up. Load balancers, SMS, OTP.
My question is that it is like if I'm building a cloud here, subscribing in any of them, this will give me the ability to provide this service like load balancer or CAPTCHA to all of my customers.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So I buy once only to you, and I can sell it separately to each customer.
Yes, you sell them. You just piggy bank on what we already have, or you strike your own deal with all this and manage your own relationship. We prefer that way. This way, you are in control. You don't have to rely on us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But in a pinch, if you don't, you can jumpstart. Let's say in a proof of concept, you don't want to sign the agreements. You want to just test it out. Fine.
Yeah.
You can do it, piggy bank on us, use it, and slowly build your OLAs and SLAs with these customers, and then sign up for the services.
Okay.
All right.
For example, like SFTP or load balancer, these ones, for example, I can take them from you. No need like to go for Google.
Correct. Yeah.
For capture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's different types of services where like it's better to go to the provider, or it's better to do it with Vipsy.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. All right. So moving on a little bit more for, let's see how things are created. I mean, that's the bread and butter.
I need to be excused for 5 minutes only. Can you please be paused for 5 minutes?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry about this. Thank you.
No problem.
Hopefully it will be less than 5. Thank you.
No problem. Take your time.
Hello again. Sorry about this. I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I need to be respectful of time, so I'm not sure if you guys have time to continue, or you want to do a second session, or you let me know.
Depends how many things left to
Well,
see.
I'll just touch a few items to show you. If you want further details, then probably second call will be required. So in our solution, once you fund your account and validate it, you can create all of these services. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. We will show you what it means. Of course, the ISO image that you have, SSH key, scripts, firewall, DNS, VPC, that's additional security, load balancer, floating IP, additional IPs, monitorings, gateways, BGP, buckets, storage, backup snapshot, WebC snapshots of your environment, storage snapshots, backup policies, support cases.
Do you work on this regularly? Like you add more and more items to this resources list?
Yes, I mean, this is our version 2.0. We recently updated it. In recent update, we have added 2 more services, Kubernetes and bucket services.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so yes, our R&D team is working as we speak, as we deem necessary to modernize or introduce a service. We will then put it in our containers for people to then pick it up from there. So yes, we have added also a few of the security elements, the BGPs, the gateways as well.
Gateway, nice.
Yeah.
So I think we my team will start asking about the details, but I don't think the
well, the
details outside today.
Yeah,
like the gateway, firewall, network, load balancer. We have quite enough experience using Microsoft Azure, and or infrastructure as a service for private bank. So they deployed the gateway, load balancer, the resources. They deployed the security rules on security groups, and so on. So
you can do with us also, and with close to about 35% lower cost.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So
the thing with Azure, the cost with Azure is great when you go for like 3 years plan. So we will save 60% or something like.
Well, those are our competitors. We have done a due diligence.
Anyway,
the way they advertise, not just for you to know, this is a good point. Yes, yeah. They advertise it that if you sign up for a committed resources, we'll give you discounts. But once you sign for committed resources and you go down the line, you would find that close to about 30 to 40% are not covered. Why? Because you are on a different plan. You need to upgrade your plan. So that defies the purpose for you to get a discount. They're pushing you to go to the higher bracket to give you the discounts. So be very mindful with that.
Yeah, to be honest here, actually the reservation is on the VM, so it's in the compute resources, which is CPU and memory. But when you go for disks, there is no discount there. Network traffic, there is no discount. IPs, no discount. Everything, it will be or remain the same. So they will lock on you for 3 years with the same prices for the remaining resources.
And the other thing to add is that once you commit, you pay. If you downgrade, they will not give you credit.
Yeah, they have a policy. I read about it. There's a certain percentage, like if you drop or stop using, or there's a certain amount. We calculated this. Like if you pass 6 months, you are in the safe side.
Yeah.
in this term. But anyway, as I mentioned, it's all about compute resources only, CPU and memory, nothing else.
And we give you 100% SSD environment across the board. They do not.
Yeah,
to sign up
it's
for
very good. For me, I will be like mentioning you guys in both sides. If customers need cloud hosting environment, or they want to build their own environment. I'm not talking about to do the billing or as a public cloud, but customers to do it privately. And this brings a new question. Like,
Yeah.
can we choose the billing units from USD to something like just a credit, like points or coins or whatever the name could be?
Right.
Because this is something like for oil and gas company or a bank. They have separate departments, and each department has certain budget for their systems where they require certain resources.
Yes.
So I'm getting this from some customers, and I can see that your solution here, when you provided us like the list of vendors that you can deploy a solution on, with this in mind, we can trigger or we can target specific or some customers here in Libya.
Just to give you one service and to see the interface a little bit more detailed. So if you create a resources, this is all the magic happens. So you're presented with an option to choose a pre-canned OS.
Mm-hmm.
This again, you can build in the main module what OS to show and etc. So each version that you are offering as well, okay? And then ask you to choose the data centers. These are data centers of ours, and your data center will be different, so they can choose whatever data center they want, for instance. And then the plans. Our engine has built shared CPU if you want to use, or memory optimization, all of that stuff that you can sign up for accordingly. We can packages the different packages. You can choose IVP4 or IVP6. We're built for the future. You can bring your own LAN IP schemes, or you can take whatever it gives you.
Mm-hmm.
All the scripts that you want to upload, if any. You want to add additional storages, local or shared, accordingly. You can name your resources, put a pass or put a note, put a tag, assign it to a particular project. And if you are happy with everything, you can create one.
I see. Yes.
So let's say you're working on a project, you need time to do this. You choose, build your template, okay? And then come here and deploy all 10 of them.
Nice. Yeah.
So once you deploy them accordingly, then you can come in here and how to manage it. Let me just log in. So these are my resources that I have built, for instance, and you can come into the resources, and then this is where you manage all of your resources. It has all the information, you can click on access. You can open up the command prompt right from here. You don't need any modern web browser. You can control your resources right within the screen. You don't need additional tools to bring in. You can power on, power off, reboot, reset. You can change the networking, apply firewalls in here. In the firewalls, when you go in, you can change all those settings in terms of what resources are taking care of, what the outbound routes are accordingly. Block IPs and stuff of that nature. Coming back to managing, there's a few more items. backups. You can take backups and snapshots and etc. You can resize the environment here, or CPU, RAM, cores. Just drag and drop. You know.
It doesn't show the.
No, it doesn't give you the cost here, but when you apply it, it will give you the cost matrix as well.
It will be nice if it's shown here.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We can, just on the fly the difference. That's a good idea. I made a note. Yeah. There's the built-in monitoring tools that it comes with it, which gives you. You can monitor it on monthly basis. Of the key performances. Your audit rules are here. All of your storage accounts. So, I went very high level, of course.
What is danger? I see danger here.
This is if you want to delete your VM.
Okay.
I didn't like the word danger, but this is our development.
It's sketchy, so it will bring attention. It's nice, actually.
Yeah, if you want to delete your resources, so you can come here and put in all the information and delete it.
Yeah. It's a dangerous decision as well.
But the beauty is that, let's say you made a mistake, you delete it, and you have a backup. You can build the instance right from the backup if you haven't deleted your backup.
Okay. And during deletion or deleting this resource, it will not delete the backup, right?
You have a choice to delete the backup also when you're doing it, but yes, backup is a separate place where you go to delete backups, yes.
Okay. And when I delete this one, it will delete all the reserved resources like storage, the virtual disk or the public IP or all other things with it, or other things will remain?
Other things will remain. That you have to manually clean it up. We do not want to remove it in case you want to reuse it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because you can assign IP to something else, you can assign that shared drive to something else, and etc. It's customizable. We can change the options from one to the other.
Sure.
Now, this is the half just did. When you see the main admin demo, which builds this environment, that's even impressive than this. So next time we'll show you that.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I'll pause here. I know I threw a lot of information at you guys. So next step, as I see, probably if you give me a bunch of email addresses to create a demo accounts for you, you go in and play yourself. Give it to your networking team, give it to your security team, give it to your computer resources team, and let them take it for a spin. And you guys be the judge your own.
I see. Sure. Actually, first I would like to thank you for this informative session, and your solution is, I can say it's an amazing one and handy. The reason that we have this session is that I discussed, me and Ahmed from EliteBat, that there's a company that provides a cool solution in terms of virtualizing the environment and providing it as cloud-based enterprise cloud environment. The thing is, he brought this when I mentioned Nutanix. So here we are working or promoting Nutanix in the market, but the idea is that we want other solution that fits, as you mentioned, 25 plus companies. Nutanix is quite expensive for them. And this is where we came together today and we met. So I will take it back to Ahmed, Ahmed, Usama, and I don't know who else from EliteBat. We will share our feedback with them.
Sure.
Honestly, it is amazing, as I mentioned. So hopefully from there we start talking about like the visibility on the commercial level,
Yeah.
just in the media market, and before we make any further steps.
Of course.
But anyway, so far it's good to have you guys in our portfolio, at least for customers who are seeking cloud services.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good options. There's nothing wrong with Nutanix services, yes. But Nutanix comes with heavy bag if they want a little bit more flexibility, and we are there as well. Nutanix is also perfect. I've used it myself. Nothing wrong with their solution, but we also cater to that environment as well.
Actually,
yeah.
You are more flexible than them. Well, I can see that you guys adding more services. I mean, load balancer, gateway, firewall. These things are not available. I mean, these are cloud only. And to have them in my environment, this is what makes it amazing.
Yeah, security is paramount nowadays these days, so it's important to give that flexibility. You want your environment to be open, we give you that flexibility. You want your environment to be locked down, we give you that flexibility as well.
You got me to think about another point, which is if we build a cloud. Recently, a big company built their own cloud using VMware. They invest a huge amount of money. And VMware, there is other services like to do the software defined data center and provide the services like load balancer and firewall. They added web application firewall as well, among other things. But because it's VMware, there is no billing platform comes with it. So they need their own. There is no end user interface
because their model is CapEx model. In CapEx model, you cannot do that. So they send you a bunch of licenses and perpetual and make you sign and you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we are we cater to
guys. Yeah. It's not CapEx. So what do you mean? If it's not CapEx, it means I need to pay you to use your software in my environment. I need to bill you on monthly basis, right?
We are OpEx model where you sign up for the license for the controller, and on yearly you pay just the maintenance cost. There's a one-time charge of the license and then maintenance cost. That's it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So the idea here is that they mention or announce that they are doing all the controls in terms of information security standardization, which brings me to this question, which is, are your platform guys is certified in terms of ISO 27000?
Yes, we
have each control. We can check each control in it. Also, this is one thing, and the other one, I don't know if there is security standardization for cloud providers.
Yeah. So to answer your questions, yes, we are in the current cloud offering turnkey. Today, you go to Wipsy.com and sign up and use We Are, because we have to be, because we are catering to that clientele.
What if I build in my data center?
Then you're responsible for it. We cannot certify.
No. Let me just mention this part. There is one where I need to protect or secure the premises and the access to the data center and to maintain the business continuity. All of this, I got this. But the other part, which is the solution itself, there's controls related to the solution. And this is where my question is your solution cover the parts related to you or to the controls that's supposed to be covered by your solution. The other ones, I will for sure implement them. I will do access control. I will log each entry with every reason. I have CCTV, security guards, backup power, so on. All of this. I know. I'm aware of that. So the idea is that to complete this, I need to be ready with the solution that I choose.
Yes. So we give you a tool, just to answer, just to be very clear on this, because the subject is also dear to my heart. So let's look at it from the auditor perspective, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So an auditor comes in and they want to audit your environment, not the bookkeeping or the accounting, but they want to audit your system accounts, okay?
Yes.
And they come up with a standard, either NIST or ISO or whatever you want to call it. So let's pick, they're all the same with minor changes here and there, okay?
Yeah.
So they will first look at your perimeter security, and they'll go from a layered approach. So if you are partnered up with a region to a data center service provider, you rely on the ISO certification of that particular company. So you would forward them and they'll say, yeah, good. Okay. Next layer, they'll go say, okay, show me the controls of that you have built the environment on it. So if it's Nutanix, you will give them how people log in, how the administrators are set up, what access they have, and blah, blah, blah. If you're doing that on our system, we give you the tools, same like Nutanix. You create accounts, you enable MFAs, and password changes and all that stuff, all the controls. The rest segregation of duties are for you to sit down and show them how the SOD environment, segregation of duties that you perform or your team performs are segregated. We give you the tools.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it works. So we can't just come in and say, here's the certificate. They will throw the certificate out because it's not valid. I want your environment. The auditor will say, show me how many administrators you have accessing this environment. There was 10 of them. So good. Show me what access they have. You'll go in and print the audit report. We showed you in here what access they have. Good.
Yeah.
Why this person is editing and also related to billing. That's no, change it. Okay, we'll change it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's a process that you have to go, but we give you the tools to get you there.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done security, I've done audits, I work with auditors, that's how they think. It's a layered approach that you sit and you show them. They will never be happy in the first pass they give you, because they want to make sure they just
we have done this. Our office in Dubai, we just recently did the auditing for ISO 9K and the quality one.
Because you have to justify charging you so many thousands of dollars, because if they come in and they say first time everything is good, they'll say, wait a minute, why did I pay you so much money?
Yeah.
Where in Dubai you guys are located? Because I'm planning to come to Dubai, inshallah, in December.
Dubai, okay. Dubai is not related to what we discussed here. Okay. You can visit Ayub there, and you can have a nice talk with him. I can share with you the address.
No problem. When it's closed, then we can communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will mention that we are in Jumeirah Lakes Towers.
Yeah, I know the area. I lived in Dubai for 15 years, so I know.
Oh, nice. So we mentioned this at the beginning, so vendors know who is Cubic and what is the things that we work on. Today we talked about infrastructure and cloud service, cloud solution. We provide other services in ERP solution from Microsoft. We do the customization in it specifically, as you know, not just doing like the normal configuration. We started to work in India and Egypt to customize the finance, the payroll, and other modules as well to make it ready for the customers in these countries. We did big projects on terms of customer services, like the Saudi Post and the Abu Dhabi Bank, and so on. This is the other part. We work in fintech as well, and we have been nominated as the best financial analyst solution, I believe. If you go to cubicsystems.com, you will find us post our award there. So as you see, the team I gathered today, which is Libya team, mainly focused on IT related stuff like the infrastructure, the center, cloud, Microsoft services. We are gold in cloud platform and cloud core and cloud services for Microsoft, server and many other services for Microsoft as well. So this is just a recap who is Cubic. So far, Cubic International focusing more on the fintech and few on the ERP. But to be honest, on the infrastructure, it's the main thing here in Libya only, and hopefully we will expand in the region.
Okay. You mentioned ERP. What ERP systems are you guys deploying?
Sorry, ERP?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dynamics, Microsoft Dynamics Finance and Operations.
Oh. But you guys don't offer any industrial ERP systems, supply chain automation?
It has supply chain. It has other modules as well. I'm not that familiar with it, but so far we have signed a project. We have one ongoing and one to be closed that has the HR, payroll, finance, and supply chain.
Okay.
The one that's already signed, it has also the Dynamics CRM, or the customer engagement, as Microsoft named it, and parts related to the commerce and field service.
No, I'm familiar with Microsoft Dynamics. I'm also familiar with another ERP system that I, in my previous engagement, deployed, which is tailored towards the military defense manufacturing systems.
Yeah, Dynamics works for manufacturing, for import, export, for oil and gas. We have promoted this, but the thing is that Microsoft Dynamics Finance and Operations is quite expensive for medium, small companies. It's only for enterprise. They have another one called Business Central, but Business Central is they didn't or Microsoft didn't permit selling it yet to Egypt and Libya. Yeah,
definitely. I'm familiar with Business Central also. Yeah.
So Business Central is cost effective for this size of companies. Anyway,
I put a link here in case you're interested in one of the enterprise ERP system, which caters towards manufacturing and as an alternative solution. I put the link here. Look at them. I can make the introduction to them. They're quite a powerhouse.
I see. Well, thanks for sharing it. We will consider this. Hopefully next year.
Yeah, I've deployed their solutions, so I'm familiar with their solution.
Yeah. As you know, building team for ERP is not an easy mission or an easy task. So.
Yes, ERP is a different beast. Requires a different set of.
Once we get HAN control, we master that Dynamics. It will be like the same thing. ERP is about processes and procedures and how to automate these things. So learning another ERP, system, especially if they are easy to learn and smart ERP system, it will be an easy jump, I believe, from Dynamics to IFS. Right. Well,
sounds good. All right, gentlemen.
Pleasure meeting you, and I love this the discussion went between us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll meet very soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big Nizar.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.